talk on Tuesday. What's the date he's in? I do apologise, winner there. This wasn't the platform for a debate. I just wanted to find out why. I just wanted to have just a genuine, informal chat with someone. But that didn't really work out. However, there are many videos out there on many different channels on both sides of the equation where, if you wish, you can go and watch the debates and you can go and watch the conversations. Many out there. I'm not going to name drop because it's going to be very one-sided in favour of Globe Earth. And obviously, I don't want to be seen to be in favour of what is real. But either way, so I want to talk about today how I'm feeling. I'm feeling somewhat apprehensive. I go back to work next week. Next week, Monday, in fact. Next week, Monday, the 24th. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm excited for mixed emotions. So I'm excited because I'm going back to work. I mean, it's new place. Even though I've worked there for over 10 years, I haven't been there for a year. So it's new place, new people. Connor, good morning. You know, some of them may be new people. A lot of them are my colleagues that I've worked with for the last 10 years. But I get to actually go back to work next week, Monday, which is going to be strange. I know there's a lot of different rules and procedures in there now, which weren't there before to accommodate the COVID crisis. So we'll wait and see what's happening with that. So when I go back to work, I'm in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've got 4 days of training. I've got Tuesday off. And I believe when I go back on Tuesday, the 1st of June, I think, then they'll get me out with a mentor to go and reroute learn and type train on various different types of buses. Although I only drive one bus, really. But, you know, you've got to keep it all above board and whatnot. So I'm not apprehensive about driving the vehicle itself. Like I said, you know, it's like anything. You learn to drive a bus, you never forget how to drive a bus. You know, I don't doubt my ability to control a large vehicle. What is getting to me a little bit is the fact that I see people out and about on a daily basis not following the basics of rules. Even before restrictions were being eased, people just weren't doing what they were supposed to do. They weren't wearing masks. They weren't social distancing. And the thing is, you're not allowed to ask people to wear a mask. Soft 16 says, I've worked on the buses all through lockdown, and non-mask wearing, especially the younger generation, is shocking. I know. I don't understand why people think it's not a thing. It's a thing. It's a big thing. There's supposed to be no standing. Yeah, right. Again, this is what gets me. So I'm going to find it quite difficult because I'm firm but fair when it comes to being in charge of a large vehicle like that, because it's my place of work. And when I say there's a certain set of rules on the bus that I'm driving, I kind of expect those rules to be adhered to, not for my sake, but for your sake as a passenger. You know, so it's literally the comfort and safety. First and foremost, any London bus driver will tell you, you always put the comfort and safety of your passengers first. So I don't know how many people are going to be allowed on the bus at any one time. I'm going to be very uncomfortable if there's anyone standing right next to someone. I got on a bus the other day and I didn't want to sit down. To be honest with you, I very rarely sit down if I get on a bus anyway. I like to stand, but I didn't want to sit down because of, some would say, paranoia. Others would say being sensible. I don't want to sit and touch things that other people have sat on and touched on. I don't like it. So the only place for me to have stood was at the rear of the bus. It was a number 3. Boris bus, and the back door did open, by the way, if anyone's wondering. So I stood on that bus, and the amount of people that just didn't follow any kind of social distancing, it actually blew my mind. I was standing there minding my own business in my own little corner, with a mask on, with my headphones on, nodding away to Trivium, as you do. And for those of you who want to know what sort of music I listen to Trivium. Check them out on Spotify. And Gemini Syndrome, love a bit of that. You don't hold up the company's bus route, Chris. That's all they care about. Yeah, I know. But oh, you're welcome. Carol just got me up, Chris. How you doing, pal? Ross McGarry, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm just a little bit apprehensive. So when I'm travelling on a bus, I'm very wary about the people that are around me. I'm very sorry. I keep touching my moustache because it's itchy. Excuse me. I'm very wary of my surroundings. I've got very good spatial awareness. I'm aware of what's happening. So when I see people, when I'm standing there with my mask on, listening to what I'm listening to, and they're wearing masks like that, it's supposed to be like that. Not like that, not like that, not like that, not like that, like that. It's not a beard warmer. If you're going to wear it, wear it. If you're not going to wear it, don't wear it. Just don't go anywhere near me. Don't stand next to me. Don't breathe on me. Just don't say the word p or t. You know, they don't pronounce those letters near me. I don't want to be in your vicinity. Especially if you choose not to wear a mask. Because you're supposed to, unless you're actually medically exempt. And we're not allowed to ask you. That's the thing. We're not allowed to ask you in case we offend somebody. Well, you know, I don't know what I want to do about that. Because if it gets to a point where my bus is getting really, really full, and I've said this a few times, and I say, sorry, I can't take any more on. You're going to have to wait for the next bus. And they keep getting on my bus. What do I do? Do I sit there and ask them nicely, please leave? I asked you not to get on the bus. I can't now give you a transfer ticket because you made the choice to pay your fare. Or do I just carry on, knowing full well that an overcrowded bus, especially with this new Indian variant, could be causing more harm than good? So what do I do? Antonio Rock, good morning to you too from Portugal. Good morning to you. Sorry, my apologies. You're in Portugal, you're saying good morning. Good morning, Antonio. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you're well in Portugal. I really do. In fact, do you know what? Portugal was actually the last country I went to. Seriously, I haven't left this country since 2004. And Portugal was the last country I visited. And it's a beautiful country too. I can see arguments ahead when you have to share seats. All seats available. Do you know what? It drives me mad. So, so apprehensive is how I'm feeling about it. However, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back for a few reasons. One, I get to earn some money. God knows I need some money right now. And again, I get to see different parts of London. I get to actually get my life back. I get to have some normality, some structure, some function. You know, I mean, yes, I've got structure at the moment and I've got function. You know, I have to get up every morning, follow my routine, get my kids ready for school, get their breakfast sorted out, make sure they brush their teeth, make sure their bags are packed, make sure their uniform's been ironed, take them to school, take the missus to work, come home, get the place sorted out, maybe do a live, you know, run the kids a bath around about 2 o'clock because then I have to leave, go and do the school run, come home, they get straight in the bath, then I have to cook some dinner, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty much a house bitch, you know, so I've got structure in that sense, but it's not the same. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, having a good strong coffee, quickly eating some breakfast, walking the dog, you know, getting dressed in between all that somewhere, you know, brushing your teeth, you know, then going to work, walking to work, doing a full day's work, earning some money, you know, seeing my colleagues and my friends and seeing the wonderful people that get on and off of my buses on a daily basis. I actually miss that. I want that back, and I'm getting that back next week, thankfully. It is surprising how much you miss something that you despise. And don't get me wrong, I hated the job. 10 years. You know, I loved it, then I hated it, and I loved it, then I hated it. It got to a point where I'm being funny. I genuinely thought I was going to jack the job in a couple of times because of just how people treat you. It gets almost soul destroying, but the lack of respect you get from not a lot of people, but a horrible minority of people that, you know, they just think they're above you. That because you drive the bus, you're a piece of scum. And the amount of times that got to me so bad where I thought, you know what, I just don't want to do it anymore. But I stuck with it. Abdullahi, good morning. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Yes, I believe I did. And I believe it was Eid recently. So if it was, then Eid Mubarak to you if you are a follower of Islam. I'm just assuming if I am wrong, then I do apologise. Adam Bamberg, what a great name. It's 30 people at the moment on most double-decker routes at TfL from where I see it, unless it's changed again. Well, there we go. You know, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm going to try my best to uphold the rules. Antonia says, as a bus driver at Tolworth Bus Garage from 2005 until June 2018. Tolworth, that's only down the road from me. Do you know, I once applied for a job in the Tolworth Tower. I'll never forget it. It was 2002, and there was a job application, or an ad, sorry, in a newspaper that said free MCSE/MCSA training to become a Microsoft certified service assistant or engineer or something. And it said completely free training, 3-year course, blah, blah, whatever. So I went down there to apply for said course/job because they were paying for it as well, paying you. And the second I get there, they're like, no, it's going to cost you £3,000. Excuse me, arsehole. That's false advertising. Yes, it is. Now you can pay for my train fare back. Twat. So that was fun. And I do know that electric scooters legal in London from June. No, says Soft16. This is where you're half right. You're half right. Electric scooters are legal in London if they're run by a local authority. Okay, they are limited to 12.5 miles per hour. And private scooters that you own, that whatever, you know, non-local council scooters, your own private scooter, they are still illegal on roads and pavements. So, and you do have to pass some kind of road safety test. So that is, you're half right. It is going to be legal, but only for designated scooters run by local council authorities. So that's what's happening there. Ross McGarry says, certainly wouldn't offend me, pal. Typical Scotsman, me, pal. Love Portugal. PT, it's me gorgeous. Who's offended? I'd be able to get held up by all demonstrations in London, freedom marches, free Palestine, BLM, etc. And the thing, this is what gets me, is I don't mind sitting in traffic. I get paid to sit on my backside regardless of whether the bus is moving or not. It's irrelevant to me. I don't actually care. What gets me when it comes to a lot of these protests is how politicized those protests are in the broader sense of things. Now, I don't agree with any of the fighting in Israel and between Israel and Palestine. I personally think that they're acting like children. You know, I mean, I'm aware of the history around it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blind to history. I'm well aware of it. Can't we all just get along like grown-ups? Instead of, you know, blocking people from doing this and shooting people and bombing people and doing all this ridiculousness, just get along. It's nice to be nice. Do only good every day. That's what it says below. You know, we're all human beings, regardless of what belief we have or regardless of what territory we think we're entitled to. At the end of the day, we live on a planet. it belongs to all of us. It's just territory, really, and I think that's absolutely disgusting and abhorrent. The fact that people can't share land that was not really theirs to start with anyway. And this is where the argument comes into it. It doesn't really matter. Just share. Just share. Be nice. Be nice. That's all it takes. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, really, isn't it? Is just be nice. Don't be an asshole. Um, and I'm not going to get into that. And, what really gets me with the political side of it is Black Lives Matter has been politicized. I think as a movement, I think it's fantastic. As an organization, I think it's not. I think it's very dangerous, far, far, far left wing organization, which can be quite intimidating to a lot of people. But as a movement itself, I'm 100% behind Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives do matter 100%. I'm never going to say Black Lives don't matter, because without Black Lives, we wouldn't have what we have today. You have to show a lot of gratitude, actually, I think you'll find. And Black Lives do actually matter just as much and equally as anyone else. But it shouldn't be politicized. I think taking the knee at a political event is wrong. I think taking the knee at a sporting event is wrong. If you want to show support against racism, you don't have to take the knee. I actually find that quite offensive, is literally doing the gesture which actually killed the man. It's like emulating the way someone killed him. To me, I find that actually quite offensive to George Floyd. So why would I want to do that? I'm not going to take the knee, and it's not because I don't have any respect. I have massive amounts of respect, regardless of what his history was. He was he was murdered, basically, and Derek Chauvin is getting what's coming to him, 100%. But I'm not going to be taking the knee because I find it offensive to George Floyd. And that shouldn't be done at football matches. If you want to combat racism, combat racism. Do it actively. Instead of taking the knee, combat racism. Talk about it. Do something about it. Raise more awareness for it yourself, as opposed to putting one knee on the floor. This ain't Game of Thrones. And another thing which gets me, and why it shouldn't have been put on the television, is I did watch the FA Cup final. I wasn't very happy with the result, but Free Palestine on TV at a football match? No. If footballers aren't allowed to wear a poppy, why are they being allowed to take the knee and Free Palestine banners and Palestinian flags and whatnot? If you can't have one without the other. If you're going to ban poppy wearing, which is an amazing symbol of the struggle that thousands of men and women went through for our own freedoms. It's basically a symbol of peace, really, when you think about it. If you can't wear a poppy, why should you be allowed to do anything else? So double standards there, thank you very much. And by the way, fuck VAR. There, I've said it. 60 on double deckers now, no standing. Haha, I see thousands of them already. Well, there we go. The thing is, I actually quite like it when there's a really big event. I mean, watching the Queen's speech last week, I thought to myself, if I was driving right now, would either be curtailed back to Elephant and Castle or County Hall. And if it would be County Hall, I'd prefer County Hall, because we'd go down Westminster Bridge Road, stop outside the Sainsbury's, wherever that, just on the left-hand side. Then you turn left, go down the embankment, down to Vauxhall, circumnavigate Vauxhall Station, come back just past MI5, park up on the left-hand side on the embankment. Lovely view of everything. And then you just leave about, depending on traffic, 5 to 10 minutes before you're due at the first bus stop down at Lower Marsh. Oh, you get to sit there for like an hour watching the boats go by. It's wonderful. And that's what I miss. It's silly things like that. I mean, a lot of drivers didn't like that sort of thing. I don't like being curtailed. I just want to drive. It makes my day go faster. I like getting curtailed if there's an event like that, because I get to appreciate the river. I love the river. I love the River Thames, although as grim as it actually is and as dirty as it is a lot cleaner than it used to be. And people still die in that river on a daily basis. But I love it. I love watching the boats go by. I love sitting there watching the tide rise and go down again. And it's it's calming in a weird sort of way. I mean, I remember if I'd had a bad morning or a bad afternoon, and I know I can sit down um, either next to the hospital or on the embankment, I know I can sit for an hour if my bus isn't blocking anywhere, and I can just sit and stare at the river. It's silly things like that, you know. It kind of makes it worthwhile in the end, really. I mean, it's a strange one. My mind works in mysterious ways, but I'm excited and I'm apprehensive about going back, is what it comes down to. And coffee time. Good. Oh, but as you can see, I am actually currently on Zoom at the moment. I have got a bit of a blurry background. The AI doesn't really track movements too well. What I'd really like is a green screen. Green screen, that would be great. Um, but I know have green screen. It not happen. Uh, so there we go. I mean, I've been keeping away from YouTube lately. I mean, going live. I mean, the last time, like I said, the last 4 times I went live, I was trying to speak to someone who believes the Earth is flat, and I failed so drastically. It was actually quite embarrassing. I mean, I managed to get one person on, his mic weren't working, so I had to remove him. Unknowingly, it blocked him. I actually wanted him to try again. It didn't work. Um, what I would like, though, if this is okay with anyone who is a London bus driver or a bus driver in general, if you wish to join me right now on Zoom on this right here, you're absolutely more than welcome to. I can sort the screen out. I can get you on. We can have a little chin wag. It's entirely up to you. Just let me know in the comments section down below in the next 5 to 10 minutes because I have things to do. But you know, I mean, what do you do during the day? I mean, being furloughed for over nearly a year and a half. That's hard going. I mean, I'm actually grateful I'm not furloughed till September. And that's another thing I'm apprehensive about is the fact that they furloughed until September. But it's the amount of daytime TV that you watch, the amount of news that you watch, the amount of anything that you watch on TV. You sit there and you consume nothing but negativity through the news, and that has a negative effect on you as well. It gets to a point where it's like, do I really want to keep watching the news? And then you turn it off. And then you think, shit, I've not watched the news for about 2 or 3 hours. I need to put the news back on to find out what's happening in the world. And then you put the news back on, you get more negativity. And it's like you have to get that dopamine hit just to get it. And it's like, yay, news. No, negativity. And you try and keep up with it, but you don't want to. And the thing is, a lot of the time, it has to be bad to make the news. But you know, and I've got a funny feeling that the news is only going to get worse with this COVID-19. I really, really do. I mean, the rules have been eased since yesterday. People can hug. And I did say on Facebook, if you do follow me on Facebook, you know, if you come up to me and invade my personal space with a hug, then I'm going to invade your personal space with my fist. You know, I don't want you coming near me. Don't just assume because you can hug people that everyone wants a hug. No, you ask first. If I say no, which will more than likely be the case, then just back up. You know, if they say, oh, it's 2 meters or 1 meter, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. I don't care what government says. My own personal bubble, and has been even before COVID-19, is at least 1.5 to 2 meters by default anyway. My own personal space has always been my own personal space. And I like that. I like my own personal space. So if anyone starts coming up to me, giving me a hug, I don't want your COVID cuddles. Take them away. I don't want them. The only people I'll be cuddling and giving a hug to is my family. That's a fact. You know, my mum. I'd love to hug my mum. Can't lie. I have hugged my mum on the odd occasion. Rule breaker. But that was a calculated decision. I know we've both been vaccinated. I know that I take a test on a regular basis, and so does she. So, calculated risk. But I don't want I don't want things to go back to some kind of crap situation, because I've got a funny feeling that it is. It is. I mean, I put on the community post the other day a link to a video that I done over a year ago, and it was a rant on PPE, and I actually made reference to India back then. And I was right. Again, I don't like being right all the time, but it's happening, and it's driving me mad. And I just got a horrible feeling that this Indian variant, with these new rule easings, I got a funny feeling it's just going to get worse. Slowly but surely, it's going to get worse. And I'm thinking by the end of June into the half of July, we're going to be seeing some kind of peak again, because people don't know how to follow rules. I don't think that in June, when the last restriction is supposed to be eased off, I don't think that's going to be eased off. In fact, I think there's going to be more restrictions put in, and they're going to backtrack. I mean, technically, we're still in lockdown. A lot of people don't understand this. We're still in lockdown. Just because Boris Johnson said, "I'm not going to put us back into a lockdown," doesn't mean that he can't adjust the one that we're already in. He doesn't want to give us another one, but he can tweak our current one to his will. And I have to respect that. But the thing is, I don't think Boris Johnson has the bollocks to do what he has to do. I think he's being pushed and urged and bullied into doing things that he doesn't want to do too early. And that's driving me somewhat mad, because yes, he done things rather late last year in regards to closing of borders and lockdowns and such. And he didn't do a good job. I'll be the first to tell you that. But he has tried since then. He has. And no other Prime Minister would have done any better. They can always say they would have, but I guarantee they wouldn't have. I would have, if I was the Prime Minister. We can actually see back in those videos, I was actually talking about local lockdowns and restrictions and border closes long before the first lockdown. So what can I say? You know, common sense king right here. But I know I've got a funny feeling that the shit is going to hit the fan again with this new variant. And I think that there is going to be another peak in the middle of, well, between June and July. I think there's going to be another peak. I think cases are going to rise. Sadly, I mean, deaths are going to be kept under control with the vaccine. But all it takes is another mutation, really. I mean, the vaccine is only as good as the last mutation that it managed to keep under control. I mean, you get one mutation which is resistant to that vaccine, and then it is literally game over. They have to start from scratch, and it's going to be our own fault. It's our responsibility, just because we've been given a little bit of freedom. And I said this on Facebook, and Ross McGarry can back me up. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Yeah? Me say that again. Just because you can hug someone doesn't mean you should. Just because you can go to a pub doesn't mean you should. Just because you can go and eat in a restaurant doesn't mean you should. Think things through first. Yeah? Still follow social distancing guidelines, even when things open up. Even when they say you don't need to wear a face covering anymore. Even when they say you don't need to social distance anymore. You will, because it's going to pick up again. But just have a certain amount of common sense. Again, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. That's the fact. I think we should all still be keeping a certain level of social distancing going on. And if you feel comfortable with wearing a mask, then wear one. I'm going to be wearing one for the foreseeable future. And before someone starts saying, oh, it's a form of control, it's indoctrination. No, it's not. Not at all. It's my choice. I choose to wear one because even if I get a cold and I start coughing through that, I don't want to pass on my germs to someone else. I could have COVID. I might not know. I don't want to be breathing in your COVID particles. I don't want that. While it's still a thing, I'm going to be wearing a face covering. It's not a case of control and indoctrination and all this other bollocks that anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers want to spew out of their arseholes. I have no time for that. I'm wearing one because it's common sense. I mean, when I was in hospital, when I was going through my chemotherapy, I had next to no immune system. In fact, I didn't have an immune system because it was destroyed by the chemo. I had to wear a mask if I wanted to take my drip and walk down through the hospital and go and get a coffee. I had to wear a mask because of other people. Okay, it wasn't to protect them from me, it was protect me from them. One tiny illness at that point could have actually killed me. A common cold with no immune system could have killed me. I had to wear a mask. And I chose that. Okay, I mean, well, I didn't really choose that. I was told what the consequences were. I could have taken it off at any point. But again, I chose to wear that mask because it was for my own benefit. So choosing not to wear a mask in crowded areas, you're choosing to put yourself at risk. And by doing so, you're choosing to put other people's lives at risk. This is what I don't understand. Looking forward to your rant after you've been at work for a while. Might invest some ear defenders. Do you know what? That might be a thing. I haven't had a good rant at work for a long time. But the thing is, I have to be very careful with what I say. And I have to be very careful with what I do. Because I can rant about certain things. I can rant about my experience. I can rant about passengers. I can rant about situations. But remember this, I will never, ever rant again about the company that I work for. I've done that once. I'm not going to do that again. I made a big boo-boo years ago. Excuse me. Wow, that fell out. Years ago on a different social media platform. And I made a bit of a boo-boo. And I'm sorry. Off to work I go. Have fun, Chris. Soft 16 stick. You have an absolutely wonderful day. You drive absolutely to the best of your ability and make sure that everyone is safe and comfortable. And remember, drive the bus like you've got your nan sitting at the back trying to pour a cup of tea. That's how you do it. 9 times out of 10, I drink in the house, pal. And yeah, you like to have a little drink of Super Bock. I pay attention. I'm not a fan of Super Bock myself because I think it tastes like armpit, but each to their own. Chin chin. Mmm. Mmm. Coffee, good. So as you can probably see, my beard is growing out somewhat. If I do that, look, it's growing out. I'm turning into a bit of a hobo with the look, but I'm growing it out. There's a reason I'm growing it out. Is I like it for one. I like my beard. And I'm actually doing a video with my beard, and it's not going to be going. I'm not doing a dancing beard video, so don't ask. I'm actually doing a time-lapse video, and I think I'm on day 54. It should actually be day 58 because I think I've missed four pictures. But I take a picture, I take a photo every day, and I put that photo into an album, and they're all in order. And once I've got the beard to a certain length and girth, do you prefer length or girth in a beard? Then I'm going to create a video of it. And I'm struggling with the timings of the photos in this because should it be frame that quick? Or shall it be more like frame, and you know, animate it a bit quicker? Because, you know, obviously, depending on the length of the photo on the screen dictates the length of the video. I mean, I could do 60 days in a second if I do it at 60 frames per second, like that. Or I could do 60 photos in a minute. It's like bang, bang. It's like a 1 minute video. You know, I mean, what do I do? You give me some ideas on how I'm going to do this, because I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm actively doing it. I just need to have a little bit of how can I put it? Advice with the beard. I mean, I've got a wonky jaw. You might have picked up on that. I've got a wonky jaw. I'm going, go that way. So my beard is never going to look symmetrical ever. But I like it. I've actually coloured it. In fact, if you can see just there, the grey is actually coming through again. I shouldn't have coloured it, really. I mean, it is ginger by nature. Ginger, blonde, white and grey. Ginger, blonde, white and grey is the colour of my beard, really. And Trending Transport Production, yo! How are you this morning? So, you know, I'm doing a time-lapse video of beard growth, which is why you're wondering, why does Chris look like a hobo? That's the reason why, and I do enjoy having a bit of facial fun. I like it a lot. So, you know, there we go. So yeah, this is how I'm feeling. This is me today. I'm getting there. You know, it's Tuesday. That's what I've got to think of. It's Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then back to work. And the thing is although I've been off work a very long time, in fact, since I started work when I was 15, this is the longest I've not worked. And technically, I'm still employed. I'm being paid to stay at home, which is really weird. It's really weird. It's a strange feeling, having a job and not working it. But I'm done with it now. I'm done. I want to get back in to the swing of things. But it's all, like I was saying though. It's like, even though I've been off nearly a year and a half, and it is a long time, it has gone extraordinarily quickly. Absolutely ridiculously how quick it's gone by. And I'm at that point now where this last week it's either going to be really, really quick or it's going to drag. And I don't know what I want to happen. I don't know whether I want this week to go really quickly so I can just get back to work and get on with it, or if I actually want it to take its time. And it's all perception, really. It's how I perceive the week to go. How do I want it to be quick, or do I want it to drag? You know, it's like pull it back. Take as long. Tie it up. Right. This week ain't going anywhere. Undo it. You know, so it's do I want it to drag? I don't know. I mean, I've prepared myself. You know, I'm preparing myself because today I'm going to be bleaching all of my white shirts because they've been in my cupboard for the last year and a half and they smell musky. They smell musky. Not Elon Musky. I love a bit of Elon Musky. You know, do only good every day. But my shirts smell musky. So they're going to go in the washing machine on a ridiculously hot wash. And then out of the wash, they're going to go into the bath with some clothing safe bleach. And then they're going to go back in the wash again with fabric softener. And I'm going to iron all my shirts nice and crisp. I've bought some new work trousers. They're probably not going to fit me because I've been going to the gym for the last 3 weeks every single day, and I have lost. I wouldn't say I've lost weight, but I've become trimmer. You know, I've lost some fat around the midriff, but my weight hasn't changed because I'm gaining muscle. Beef. So there's that. So I am preparing. Another reason, Phil, something else I've prepared myself for is these. these wonderful things, my spectacles, my glasses. Now, I've worn glasses since I was... Do they look wonky to you? Do they look wonky to me? Hang on. Hang on a minute. You know, so I've had glasses since I was... that's not right. About 10, 9 or 10, I've had glasses. I've had to wear them. My spectacles. I would get laser eye surgery, but I can't because of they keep telling me no because I'm not old enough, which I think's a load of old shit. But you know, there we go. We're just trying to adjust these. But I've had to buy new glasses basically, and I went to Specsavers as you do, and I had to spend £201 on 2 new pairs of glasses. Now, admittedly, that wasn't a bad deal because I managed to get 2 pairs of designer frames, both different, one polarized, one not, both with anti-glare, anti-scratch resistant, blah, 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 blah. You know, and it wasn't a bad deal in the grand scheme of things, and it needed to be done. I mean, these glasses here, I've had these frames forever, although I do like them. I mean, I'm going to keep these as a backup pair. These glasses are even older. You can actually see the paint coming off them. These were my backup pair. They're absolutely filthy. Let me try and put these on. These are actually thinner. Yeah, you see, look, these are the backup pair. They're not bad as they go, but and that my old backup pair. This was my slightly newer backup pair. You know, they're all slightly different, but very similar in their own way. But I've gone slightly different style, and they should be ready on the 23rd. So Sunday, I said I would get a call by, but there's nothing saying that they're not going to get them sorted out earlier than that. There's a good chance, but the thing is, £201. I didn't want to spend any money, but you know, I have a new prescription. They're slightly stronger because my eyes are getting worse in my old age, and obviously when I go back to work, they're more than likely going to give me a medical, and they're going to say, right, cover this eye. Now read what's on the thing. Now cover this eye. Now read what's on the thing. Now the difference is with this eye covered, I can read everything perfectly. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's near enough 100% perfect. If I do that, I can read things. It's just really, really blurry. Really blurry. You know, and they'll probably say, well, do you wear glasses? Yes, I do wear glasses. Okay, why have you not got them? Because I don't drive around like this every day, do I? I've got perfect binocular vision. And it's not because I have binoculars. It means bi-ocular. Bi means 2, 1, 2. And ocular is eye. Bi-ocular vision. I've got perfect binocular vision. Which means when both eyes are open, I have no issue seeing at all. Because this one compensates for this one. But apparently I need to wear glasses in order to drive because science. But that's understandable. I mean, I've got new prescription. I'm going to be wearing them. I've never not worn my glasses for work, and having polarized glasses is an absolute godsend. And for those of you that wear spectacles, if you've never had a pair of polarized glasses, you do not know what you're missing. I'm telling you, if you drive, okay, and it rains, and it absolutely pisses down with rain, and then the sun comes out, and it happens all the time, and then the sun hits the floor, and then you can't see shit. Yeah. It's blinding, literally blinding. You put polarized spectacles on, not a problem. It takes away all of the glare. You know, I bet you've been there as well, like driving through... Hang on, who's calling me? Someone's calling me from Manchester. No, thank you. I bet you've been walking down the street and the pavement's been really bright, or the cleanest white van in the world drives past you, and you can't see because it's blinding. Polarized spectacles or polarized glasses in general takes it all away. So go and buy yourself some polarized spectacles if you can, and just, you know, use them as sunglasses. They are fantastic. So that's what I'll be using during the day. So for me, I've always had 2 pairs for work. It's day glasses and night glasses. So that's what happens there. And the thing is, I thought I would get a decent pair of polarized glasses because I can't really wear these. Now I love these glasses. These are my Ray-Bans. Now, as much as I love them, they are polarized. They're not prescription, so I can't really wear these to work. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been naughty. I have worn these while driving the bus. Like I said, I have got perfect binocular vision. I literally just put those on because I couldn't see because of how bright it was. So realistically, I'd done the company a favour by avoiding having an accident, really, because if I hadn't put them on, chances are I wouldn't have been able to see shit anyway. So, waffle. But no, I've bought myself those glasses, and the polarised ones are the same sort of ish style. It's a cross between that style and my other spectacles. They're actually super dry. Love me a little bit of super dry. Super dry glasses. And no, it's not a pair of glasses that comes with its own hoodie. Just making sure you know that. But the thing is, this is what we have to do. I mean, it's as a bus driver, we know that we have to do everything we can to try and keep everyone safe. And for me, spending that sort of money is me keeping my passengers safe. As much as I don't want to spend that money, I have to. And the company will never reimburse me for that, really. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, since nobody wanted to join me this morning, I would have added someone to this chat, and I would have put you somewhere in this vicinity next to me or wherever here. Not a problem. That's entirely down to you. I am going to go. I might be back on Thursday and Friday. But after that, we may be going back to the old format where I do walk and talk with my phone going to or from work. So this could be the last week of any of this on the screen, but I will do my best to do this whenever I can. Anyway, you've been watching Chris on Real Talk. Please keep yourself safe. Get yourself your vaccine. Keep on social distancing. Think twice before giving someone a hug. Keep yourselves just in a wonderful state of health. Happy Tuesday. See you later.